Are men attracted to women who can't cook? Well, there's some things I need to explain about that for you to understand if you can't cook. Coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, I want to answer a common question that women have more than ever nowadays, which is, are men attracted to women who can't cook? Because today's generations are very different from generations of past that focused on keeping the house, cooking and cleaning. Today's generations are very much focused on career, ambition, education, being outside of the home. So domestic stuff is not really emphasized, not at all like it used to be. And that's fine. We're here to pursue whatever paths make us happy. But here's the thing, women are still having this question of, are men attracted to women who can't cook? Because I can't cook. What's going to be the response? So in this video, what I want to share with you is some perspective as well as the realities on this topic so that you can really understand what's going on behind the scenes. Now, before we get into that, let me first remind you that if you're not fully satisfied with your current love life experiences online or in person, then I invite you to join my free Love Life Academy where I'll send you free video lessons as well as other opportunities and resources that are all designed to help you level up your game and your love life. So if you're really serious about making a positive impact in that aspect of your life, take a few seconds and click the link in the description and join. We'd love to have you. All right, so let's get into this topic. You're wondering, are men attracted to women who can't cook? Well, first, you need to back up the truck a little bit and let's address how men are actually attracted to women. We're attracted to them superficially and quickly, all right, visually. So we basically see someone, we see someone that we're attracted to, and it takes us all of a couple seconds maybe to assess that, yes, I'm attracted to that woman. Now, here's the thing, our attraction starts off here. And then as we get the opportunity to connect with somebody, get to know them more, then we find out if it's going to stay this high, go lower, or go higher. But we start off pretty damn high because of superficial looks. Women by contrast, tend to be less superficial, though you are superficial, but your growth of attraction is more progressive, okay? So that's something that you need to understand. Now, when we do find out, the important qualities about a woman, which are beyond the superficial, actually the stuff that really matters, we have to work to find out and reveal and uncover. These are what I call out the finding out qualities, the invisible, the non-physical qualities that tend to be the most important, things like compassion, empathy, loyalty, that sort of thing, caringness. All these are, non-physical sort of find out qualities about somebody that you don't know by looking at them. Now, can you cook is one of those finding out qualities. Obviously not the most important, not nearly as important as say loyalty or empathy or compassion, but cleaning is going to be a quality that men are going to appreciate. So meaning if you can cook, it's a big thumbs up from a guy. He's never going to be like, "Oh, I found one that can cook, got to get rid of her, on to the next one." No, it's not going to happen. So here's the deal. If you can't cook, what will happen to you? Well, I would say probably best case scenario, because you're not going to improve attraction, is to maintain attraction. And you can maintain attraction because while you can't cook, there are other fantastic qualities that you have to offer. So, cooking by itself is not going to make or break attraction. It doesn't work like that. You have all sorts of other qualities. That's why I really preach depth of character and having that dimension, because you don't have to rely on one thing, because if you don't have that one thing, what else do you have to offer? You need to have other things to offer. But, if you don't cook, you can still maintain. But if you can't maintain, it is very likely that you will lose some level of attraction that you have to regain somewhere else because you're really good at something else, and that's your strength. But here's the thing, you can lose attraction from a guy by just a little bit or a lot. All right. And he might not even tell you. He might not even tell you that it was like a disappointment. He might not tell you that like it was a deal breaker between him losing interest in you and also just categorizing you as someone that he could never be in a relationship with. He might just never see you in a serious role because he'd be like, geez, she can't cook. Like she's helpless in the kitchen. At a certain level, we think about, well, shit, I'm signing up for that. What if we have a family? Like she can't ever take care of me with food. Guys may not say it, but they will absolutely lose some attraction, very likely, and they'll also at times categorize you in ways that you won't appreciate, right? Ways that limit the growth and the way for them to connect with you and see you. All right, so realities about if you can't cook as a woman. Let's talk the realities. The reality is that men do have expectations about a woman being able to cook. They really do. And this is just not something that we can change any faster than, I mean, like, I'll be dead, and these beliefs about women and cooking will still remain. So these aren't going to change overnight or anytime soon. Men just are going to have this. Maybe some are more malleable, but men are going to believe that something like cooking is a woman's job. They're going to believe something like that. Or they might believe that, well, cooking should be, if it's not her strength, then she should be able to contribute and share with this responsibility. And they'll also hope that, well, hopefully the woman can lead this area rather than the man. Now, obviously, there are going to be exceptions, but we're not speaking to exceptions. I'm going to speak from generalizations about populations. Generally speaking, the general population of men will feel this way, that it's more of a woman's role to kind of lead this. How much she leads it, well, that's up for, various preference, whether she needs to do it all by herself, or if she needs to be a contributor, or if she needs to, at the very least, lead and be better in this area. So that's going to be some of the most common and basic expectations that men will have about a woman cooking until the end of time, maybe. Now, also, I do want to show or express that the reality is that being the cook is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to take care of number one, and that's yourself. And if you don't like cooking, well, I understand that. But here's the thing: cooking is not your responsibility, but someone in the relationship, if you're in a relationship, has to be in charge of this. So if this is a point of friction, if he doesn't like to cook and you don't like to cook, you're going to be eating out a whole lot. And at times, yes, he will be thinking, well, shit, it would be nice if she could cook. And if you can't cook, at some points it will be a cause of friction. And so that's just something to understand, that it's not supposed to be your responsibility, but in the end, a guy will feel like, well, it's kind of your responsibility more than his. Does that make sense? He wants you to be better than him in the kitchen in most cases. And he wants you to take the lead in most cases. I know there are men out there who do like cooking, but we're speaking to the general population. Now, remember also, if you can cook, thumbs up. If you can cook, if you can't cook, thumbs down. Those are realities, okay? That's this cookie cutter and as simple as approach I can explain about whether men appreciate a woman who can cook and can't cook. Now, I will say, again, another reality is that you need to understand that if you can't cook, it's never going to make or break a man's attraction to you. He's got other reasons why he's attracted to you. And so if a man is ever going to make it work with you, cooking helps, but if you can't cook, it's not going to be the only reason why he's going to not work out with you. All right. It's going to maybe be a contributing factor, but it's not going to be the only factor. All right. I have not come across a situation where alone, just being unable to cook or being bad in the kitchen was a reason where a guy was like, no, it's always been multiple reasons. And it's just a contributor. All right. So something to think about. And it really gets you to understand the importance of your total package, because guys will put up with all sorts of baggage and women will put up with all sorts of baggage if you appreciate the total package of that person, everything that they bring to the table. All right. Now, also, the other reality is that when men are looking at you as far as can you cook, if you can't cook, it's like saying that you don't have a life skill. And if you don't have that life skill, it kind of is thought of as like you don't have a relationship skill in a way. And if you don't have a relationship skill, you kind of don't have a parenting skill. So it's hard for them. It's not as easy, I'll say, to view you as being like relationship ready or ready to be a parent one day when they're like, you can't even cook. So that's something that you need to kind of take into perspective. I'm not saying that you need to all of a sudden become like chef whatever or really become the best in the kitchen, but that's the reality. A man will think like, whether he even expresses it or acknowledges that's how he views it, cooking is going to be kind of in that category of life skill, relationship skill, parenting skill. All right. That's just reality. So if you can't cook, it does hurt you for those reasons. Now, one more last thing that I want to share with you is that, again, you need to understand that this will not make or break you. But if you can cook, it is a quality that is an ingredient in attraction. All right. So if a guy's connecting with you, one of the things that he may not lead with it, he may not know to even think to ask about it or assess it even. But at some point, He will either give you points in his own little head or take away points because you can or can't cook. So it's never going to be the only reason, but it will impact attraction. Yes, that is true. It's absolutely true. And it's something that you may not like, but what can you do? Well, what I would suggest that you do is not make this a weakness. If you are going to be someone who can't cook and you will never cook, you better have some fantastic fucking qualities going on because you will never be a help in the kitchen. You don't have to be perfect with everything, but you need to have some strategies. Maybe you have the money to always pay to eat out. That might be a strategy. Maybe you decide, well, we can eat out a little bit more when it's my turn to cook, or we'll split it, or you learn to how to make some basic dishes so that you can contribute. You know, guys aren't really looking for women nowadays. Sure, they would appreciate it, but if a woman cooks every meal, she's the exception nowadays. More often than not, you're looking at sharing the duties of cooking, and also you get to eat out once in a while, so it's not like you have to always be cooking or anything. But I would say, ladies, you should have some basic level of competence in the kitchen, just so that it's not such a drastic weakness. You don't have to be advanced, but competent is a hell of a lot better than being incompetent in the kitchen to a man. Right? That's how a man will think. He doesn't need to think that you will be the best, person to cook anything in the kitchen of all time, but he needs to feel like you can, make toast. I mean, I once met a woman who couldn't brown ground beef. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. Who the fuck raised this woman who doesn't know how to brown ground beef? So it matters, And I never told her, by the way. I never told her I judged her for that. So there you go. An example of guys never sharing. So something to think about, ladies. All right. You don't have to be the best, but I would suggest definitely level up to a level of competence in the kitchen if you want to have better success with men. It's an ingredient of attraction, but not the major one, and not something that you have to be perfect with. You can still be successful without this being a strength. All right, there you have it. If you have some more thoughts, let me know them in the comments. If you have other experiences, share those. I'd love to hear them, and so would everyone else. Remember, as always, if you want better results, you have to become better. See you in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're ready to level up your love life, take 30 seconds to visit my website right now. Join my free academy. I'll send you exclusive content and invitations to participate in my online group conference calls. And if you're ready for serious change, sign up for a free barrier breakthrough phone call with me.